Hola, hola clase, ¿cómo estamos? Hoy vamos a hablar del imperfecto. Today we're going to talk about the imperfect again as a quick review for the next couple of days before we get into el pretérito y el imperfecto, which, as you know, is one of the more difficult topics of Spanish too. So before we compare those two tenses, I just want to get back into the imperfect on its own. If you don't remember all of these details, then you may want to take some notes again, okay? So the imperfect tense is one of the past tenses in Spanish. And rather than talking about specific completed action, the imperfect talks about those ongoing actions. So an action that was recurring or repeated in the past, like something you used to do, or an action that was in progress in the past, something you were doing, or any kind of description in the past, how something was, where something was, how someone was feeling, etc. So you should probably remember your endings, the abas and the ias. For your AR verbs, we have aba, abas, aba, abamos, abais, and aban. Notice the yo form and the la usted form are the same. And then for your ER and IR verbs, we have ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, and ian. Accents on all of the I's. Again, that yo form and the la usted form are always the same in the imperfect. You're going to use your context clues to tell who your subject is in the sentence. Then in the imperfect, super simple tense compared to the preterite in that there are only 3 irregular verbs, not like 15, like there are in the preterite. And you do not have to worry about stem changes. So no boot, no flip-flop, no IR, weird one-letter stem changes happening, nada. Just these 3 irregulars. We have ser. Ser means to be, of course, so era means was. Era, eras, era, éramos, erais, and eran. Ir, to go. So iba means was going, like I used to go to the beach or I was going to the store. Iba, ibas, iba, íbamos, ibais, and iban. There's always an accent on the nosotros form in the imperfect. And then we have the verb ver. The only thing irregular about ver is it keeps the E in the stem here. Otherwise, it still has the ER, IR endings. Veía, veías, veía, veíamos, veíais, and veían, which means I used to see. So let's answer this open-ended question at the top of your screen. Cuando eras niño, ¿preferías jugar con tus hermanos o con tus amigos? Answer with a complete sentence for me. You want to remember to answer in the yo form, right? So you want to take that eras and cut the S off the end and say, cuando yo era niño or niña, girl, prefería, I preferred jugar con mis hermanas, or whatever. Next question. Cuando eras niño, ¿dónde pasaba tu familia las vacaciones? ¿Y qué actividades hacían ustedes? Answer with complete sentences. So that question is, when you were a kid, where did your family spend vacation? What activities did you guys do? So again, when you answer, you want to make sure you're putting your answer in the yo form, saying cuando era niño or niña, mi familia pasaba las vacaciones en Myrtle Beach. Nosotros siempre jugábamos al voleibol playero y íbamos a restaurantes deliciosos. Something like that. Short little practice quiz for you. So number 1 here is telling the time. Do you remember which imperfect verb you would use with time? The answer is going to be C, eran. Just like in the present tense, we use son las. Typically, the time is plural if it's anything but 1 o'clock. So in the past, we're going to say eran las. And that's because it's descriptive. Telling the time is not a specific action. We're just describing what time it was. It was 5 o'clock. Nobody did anything. Next question. Blank fresco. Entonces traje un suéter. This one describes the weather. Which verb would you use? The answer is hacía. We always use the verb hacer with weather. In the imperfect, it becomes hacía. Hacer is a verb that lends itself well to the imperfect because all types of weather are description. Hace sol, hace fresco, hace frío. So we put that in the past. Hacía sol, hacía fresco, hacía frío, etc. It was cold. 2 blanks here. Number 3. Cuando blank niño, mi familia y yo siempre blank en la playa. Which answer would you use? Correct answer is C. When I was a kid, cuando era niño, my family and I siempre nos juntábamos. We would always get together at the beach. Both of those things imperfect. I mean, by now, you know the phrase cuando era niño is always imperfect. You would never say cuando fui niño. That's weird because you were a kid over a period of time, right? It's an ongoing action in the past. And then the keyword siempre, siempre is something that we always used to do. So we use the imperfect because we're talking about one of those recurring actions in the past. It's something that happened repeatedly, like every summer. Number 4, mis primos y yo blank mejores amigos. Which verb is best? Choosing based on the meaning. The answer is éramos. We were best friends. You wouldn't say we went, we saw, we hacer, we made. It would be we were, right? Éramos mejores amigos. So anything that would be like the present tense, soy, eres, es, somos, in the past, it's going to be era, eras, era, éramos, etc. Los niños más jóvenes siempre blank castillos de arena y blank conchas en la playa. Again, all imperfect because these were repeated actions in the past, something that these kids always used to do. So honestly, the first one could go either way. So I want to look at the second one here. They picked up seashells. So the answer is going to be B. They always built sandcastles, and recoger. Recoger means to pick up. They picked up shells en la playa. And last one, sometimes, a veces nosotros blank al centro comercial o blank películas en el cine. First verb, you have this preposition a, which could be a little clue for you. The answer is going to be A. Íbamos, we would go to the mall repeatedly, and veíamos, we would see movies in the theater. Very good.